When you're faced with a conflict, it's going to fall into one of 8 different categories. In this video, we're going to identify what those 8 different categories are so that you can identify them and better handle them within your workplace. As we go through these different types of conflict, think about what kind of situations do you deal with the most, or which situations frustrate you the most and you have the most difficulty handling within your workplace. Let us know in the comments below and make sure to hit that like and notification so that you can get our latest content.
Hi, I'm Jeanette Bergeau.
And I'm Crystal Brown.
We're a mother-daughter mediation team, and our Korero Solutions channel is dedicated to helping you become the leader both you and your organization aspire you to be.
For the latest tips, tools, and advice, hit that notification bell so that you can get our latest content. All right, let's get started. Our first conflict that can arise in the workplace is a communication gap. You guys have all seen it. I'm sure that you've dealt with it before, that the information is not coming to you, or the information that you need, you are not getting. So this is where this conflict stems out of. Lack of information, lack of clear information, or just withholding the information that you need in order to do your job effectively, or that you're not giving people the information that they need or they're looking for in order to do their jobs.
The second conflict type has to do with the lack of understanding. So you're given the information, you just have different perceptions as to what does that actually mean. So one person takes it as this type of meaning, the other person takes it another way, and that's where the conflict comes in. It's your understanding of the information.
The next is the clash of egos. This comes in when people have different priorities, different things that they feel things should be working on, and really most of the time this is tied to their pride. So if something isn't done, they take it as a shot at them. So they will push forward and try to get things done in a certain way because it's about their reputation. And the other person, if you are in contrast to that, or you're trying to stop something that they feel is a reflection of them, the conflict is going to begin.
The fourth type of conflict you may find in the workplace has to do with unmet expectations. So sometimes we have those expectations just stored in our head someplace, and we assume that the employees know exactly what our expectations are, yet we may not have taken the opportunity to verbalize them. So look at having the conversation. Make sure that with your employees you have clearly stated your expectations, but then also check in with them as to their understanding of the expectations.
You'll notice these if all of a sudden you start hearing should, they should have, I wish they should have done this. When you start shoulding on everything, that's when you know it's an expectation. Our fifth type of conflict in the workplace is frustration. You get frustrated and you blow up at somebody. All right, so there's different reasons that this can come, and it's typically not about the individual that it's coming out at. It's about something else. So if it's deadlines, stress, stuff at home, there's so much underlying things that come with frustration that this is truly the emotion that all of a sudden boils to the surface and explodes within there, just wreaking havoc on everyone around. So when somebody's frustrated and they take it out on someone else, it can be looked at really surface level, or you need to dig a little bit deeper. So addressing those different frustrations and what's underneath them.
The next type of conflict we're going to look at is the lack of trust. So whether it's a lowered sense of trust in the workplace, or if trust has actually been broken, how do you work within that in the workplace? What has caused the trust to become broken? Is it something that you have done as the current leader? And is there a way to go back and talk about when the trust was broken or lowered, what you were doing, what was your intent behind it, and how can you raise or strengthen that trust? Or does that lack of trust or no trust come from previous management, previous experience? Dealing with a lack of or lower trust in the workplace can create conflict in a lot of various different situations.
Lucky number 7, lack of a collaborative environment. This really comes into the perspective that every single person within the team should feel like their opinion is heard and matters. And if this isn't happening, it can become extremely demoralizing, and you can start having those people that all of a sudden are just going to reject every idea that you come up with or any change that you suggest because they do not feel heard. The collaboration isn't happening. So you're going to start coming up against some opposition, and you need to get into exactly where that's stemming from and what's going on for that individual.
So just to add, that collaboration doesn't mean that everybody's opinions have to be incorporated. It just means that every individual feels heard and that their concerns have also been taken into account when the decision's being made. Now for the big number 8, an indecisive leader. How would that possibly create conflict in a workplace? When staff go in and they say, "Hey boss, we think that we should be doing things this way." He's like, you're right, that's a great way to do it. Next person comes in the office, "Hey, I think that we should be doing it." "You're right, I get it, we'll start doing things that way." When you don't have someone that has seeked the other's opinion, but then can make a decision and stand on that decision, right or wrong, give it a chance to succeed or to fail, but don't be wishy-washy either way. Also make sure that you can make a decision. There's nothing worse than everybody putting their proposals together, taking their ideas to a leader and say, "Okay, which way do we go on this?" And that you're just kind of frozen in time and you don't want to make a decision. "I'll get back to you next week. I'll get back to you on that. Well, I got to check with someone else." And then you find out here we are a year later and no decision's been made. Make the decisions, stick to the decision. It doesn't matter what employee comes in, and stand by your decision.
And when you do decide to change it based on the information that you have, because previously you may not have had that piece of very vital information, communicate that to someone else so that they understand why you're switching, that it's not this switch back and forth and they never know what's going to happen. If you do decide to go a different direction and it is in the best interest, communicate the why. Communicate how you came to change that, because it's okay to change, but this shouldn't be a daily occurrence and your reactions should be predictable. Now, before you get all gung-ho and are like, "That's it, I'm going to solve all of the issues in my workplace because now I know what they are," it's really important to just slow down for a second and understand the different conflict styles. So we're going to link that video for you so that you will know, based on the different people and the different personalities in the workplace, the best way to address those in order to get the most successful outcome. Now, if you do have an environment that you have conflict, and chances are if you work, there's conflict there, you're going to need some extra resources, and we're going to link those in the description below. Go and check them out and let us know what you think of those, or if you have other ones that you'd like to suggest, please also leave those in the comments below.
Remember to do something today that will change your tomorrow.
Until next time.